this, depending on the CG's guidance. There'll be CSN forums, etc. So this is not all-inclusive by any means, but it's stuff that you can get on your calendar and is not very likely to change. Could you flip through them all? Okay. Again, it's in your packet, so go ahead. Okay, this is the URL. We'll put this out on email where you can find the slide presentations. We did not put the end-strength slides or the funding slides up there for the reasons we talked about earlier, but you should be able to find everything else there starting on Friday. We're going to do some awards. We're going to bring some of the soldiers up, do some AAMs. When we do that, we like Commander Major Thomas and CG, sir, if you would come up, as well as the when your soldiers are called up, the command team from the 416th. I'd just like to, and then we'll turn it over to CG for final comments. While I still have the podium, my last couple minutes here, I just want to thank all the folks who work behind the scenes to pull this off. As you can, I mean, as you can imagine, you know, we started big, we got smaller. The initial guidance that we got was we're going to do an all-in conference somewhere out west, and the folks took that and ran with it. We're going to recognize these soldiers, but they'll be up here individually. But from the 308th MP Company, part of the 416th Tech, who are the folks behind the scenes, running all over the place, making it work. We already talked about the club people. From here at Peterson, the 21st Space Wing did our transportation and our communication. They were where they were supposed to be all the time. RG4 coordinated that, had some awesome protocol support. And we had, 2 4-stars, Mr. Horton, Mr. Treyas, classic cars. All that went off without a hitch. The G6 did great. We actually had a VTC capability set up. General Allen heard that, decided to come in this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning and do a VTC with his headquarters. So we tried to keep it a secret, but he found out. And so they were here, 4:30 in the morning getting set up, making sure it all worked. So PAO and ARC did great. Lots of good incriminating pictures from Mr. Horton's workout. I plan to go through all of those and then save a stash so I can, hold it over some certain people's heads. I want to bring one person up here from my staff. I got about 10 people who really worked hard. Oh, there you go. Get over here. So this was the OIC. And this is Colonel Robert Haldeman. We call him HR, for those of you who are old enough to remember that. And he was a Stuckey from the get-go. Obviously, as we got closer, there are lots of people that helped him, but he was the main person, flew out here a couple times, did all this coordination all over the post. And we're going to properly recognize him with something more formal when we get back home. But HR, I want to thank you very much for all the hard work. Okay, so I'm going to ask Colonel Harder to come up. He's going to be the master of ceremonies. I think he's limping a little bit. So he's going to come up, and then we'll bring up some of the individual soldiers, and then we'll close it out with the CG's final comments. So there he is. Not limping too bad.
Your ego, right?
So ladies and gentlemen, as the Chief said, we'd like to recognize some of the folks with certificates of appreciation that did some outstanding work. So we can start on the far end. And so Mr. Joe Varvaro was he coordinated all the transport from Peterson Air Force Space Force. Did a fantastic job. Part of the communications team, Airman First Class Kyle Robinson. First Lieutenant Ben Soltis. Airman Joseph Jimenez, all part of our communications support group. Part of our security force support, Senior Airman Justin Lucier. Tech Sergeant Ryan Kennedy. And Staff Sergeant Joshua Osborne. And finally, from our G6 team, sir, who also worked a lot of the support, was Deidre Allen. Ms. Jacqueline Perry. And Mr. Conrad Ward. Okay, sir.
All right.
And again, we're starting off with members from the 308th MP team. Of course, we'd ask the 416th leadership team to come forward. Please remain seated. These soldiers are being awarded the Army Achievement Medal for working all the behind-the-scenes support that made this so successful. So first, our first class, Scott Callio. Staff Sergeant Scott Pruitt. Sergeant Jody Brown. Sergeant Eric Boisvert. Specialist Sarah Byron. Specialist Vincent Kaiser. Specialist Randall Waltz. Captain Sean Delpeche. Sergeant Aaron Ronstadt. And from USARC, Sergeant Westfall. And sir, I'd also like to recognize, so we have two soldiers receiving AAMs, but they're still working the camera. So Staff Sergeant Townsend and Staff Sergeant Brian Rayleigh, thank you. And being awarded the Army Commendation Medal, that's our first class Noble Mitchell, our transportation NCOIC. Captain William Finley, our G6 OIC behind the scenes. And Captain Wendy Wright, working in our office. He was previously recognized, sir, that we're on the camera. Staff Sergeant Brian Rayleigh, Staff Sergeant Randall Johnson.
Wow, that's
Now, the first thing I've learned is I think Colonel Harder would make a better adjutant than a DCOS. So I think he has some skills. I think we just found some new skills that.
He would love to do it, sir.
Now the other recommendation was a personal assistant to Tony Horton. Anyway, Bob, you did a great job. Thanks. Look, I'm not going to keep you because. I very much support the fact that the club's going to open up the bar here and support those of us that don't have to leave right away. And I know that the SJAs wait for me to return to one or two suitcases of stuff we brought from their review. Just remember, you're the future of our Army Reserve. And it's all about command teams. And all of us who are staff, to include me, because as CAR, I'm just a glorified staff officer. Us staff officers, NCOs, we work for command teams. And so it's not lost on me how much effort you and what the sacrifices your families make so you can serve in the important positions that you serve in. And I truly thank you from the bottom of my heart. And so, as I used to say when I used to be a traditional reservist, the weekend's been long, the battle assembly's over, and my Army meter is full. Dismissed.
What's the citizen?
Thank you, Louie.
Still gonna pick him.